2021 World Para Snow Sports Championships. It's day 4 of competition for the Alpine athletes. It's the men's giant slalom coming up. Yes, once again, good morning and welcome to the slopes here in Lillehammer, the site of the 1994 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games. And a course that has been very good for some of these athletes, especially this man here, Vicente de la Place of France. A hat-trick of gold medals so far. Neil Simpson denied in the super combined competition, despite a very good second run. And it's all about the men today in the giant slalom. Plenty of entries right across the board. 84 bibs given out. And a smattering of World Championship debuts as well. Still no real fresh snow since the start of the competition. Hasn't snowed, in fact, since I arrived here, which was 3 days before competition started, so well over a week without any. That means the conditions under the skis still pretty hard. The Olympic course being used, a drop of 387 meters. Host of coaches and support staff up the top there as well. And we'll of course start with the men's VI competition, the vision impaired athletes. And a first chance for us to take in the brilliance of Giacomo Bertagnoli. Hasn't entered the first 3 competitions here. Certainly will have his mind set on being victorious, perhaps in one of these over the next few days. Obliogovikius of Lithuania making a debut as well. Arthur Parche will lead the standing. Will he lead it at the end of the 2 runs as well? He's got his first gold of this tournament. 3rd time of asking. There's plenty of opposition. Marcus Salka returning. Theo Gamur, the reigning Paralympic champion in the men's standing event. In the sitting, as always, plenty of big names for us to keep our eye on. Jürgen Kampschur at the top of that page, Jesper Pedersen at the bottom, and Andrew Kirk sandwiched in there as well, amongst others. So a few surprises in the super combined, and René Di Silvestro will now be a name that people are more acquainted with, and Dashkin Abbasov will make his debut, but not only that, the first ever Azerbaijan athlete to take part in the Alpine.
First run of the giant slalom men.
Some shot to the moon from a few moments ago. It just got out of vision over the far side from my commentary position. And in sight comes the first athlete, Giacomo Bertagnoli. How is he in terms of form? Didn't see any of him in the opening few days. Saving himself for this, or just being cautious with Beijing on the horizon. Flattened that red gate a moment ago. That will need some TLC after the marauding Italian has gone through it. Four-time world champion last time out in 2019. Andrei Chesney, his guide. And they're navigating this pretty well. No seeming dramas. A little slide through that section. Keep an eye out for that. For some of the less accomplished and, well, just jolted with about 4 games to go, but Bertagnoli sets the first time, 104.20. 2 runs, of course. The first challenge getting to the bottom. Van Frantsev next down to the gate, 0.83 behind Frantsev. "30-year-old. Falling 3.29 seconds down now in that second intermediate time. He's into the drop towards the finish. The athletes coming to my view from the commentary box.
And the slalom winner from 2013
with about 8 gates to go. So a former champion finds himself struggling with the pace of Bertagnoli. Giant slalom was the one that Bertagnoli didn't win in the 2019 World Championships. He went to Marek Kubacka. This is De La Place then. Wasn't far behind as he hits the line here, 189. So De La Place, his run of 3 golds in a row, in danger of coming to an end, it would seem. Next down to the gate was Michael Golas. They're just clattering through that blue gate, as you saw. Kasper Vrelas bringing him down as they approach the minute mark. 2:65 down at the second intermediate. 3 gates to go. 2 out of 1.
And the Polish
it's 3.54 in the end.
107.74 puts him in 3rd place behind
Now Valery Kozhubov, also a good 3 seconds down. It's a big chunk of time. That gate post there needs putting back together. He's jumping, clattering through them at pace. Let's see how far behind Kozhubov is when he gets to that line. He's already outside of Bertagnoli with a few gates to go.
Kosukov 109.81, 109.81 to 5.61.
Neil Simpson was a fraction outside in the first intermediate. He's also fallen victim to the course compared to Bertagnoli, so a very good start for the Italian. Simpson so close to being a world champion the other day, only for De La Place to nick it right at the end.
And the Simpsons,
Fourth
4 seconds behind in 1:08.19.
for the Simpsons. Jakub Krakow now, 0.65 down. There's Krakow and Przemysław Brosman. 2.35 is closer than most for that second intermediate. 104.20 is looking better and better with every other skier that comes. Krakow jumps into fourth. Deal with his footwork at the end. Miroslav Hreos next up. A 35-year-old and his guide Maroslik. 2.35 down. Big slide through there. You can see that coming. He was really quick into the turn. Another one here. Hreos being worked hard. It's actually Martin Makovnik, his guide. Apologies. They'll hit the gate here at 109, just shy of that. 108.87.
87, 467 behind, and he is just now down.
Next out, Johannes Agner, another youngster that was so close to a big result. Silver medal in the Super G. He's looking very good in the Super Combined, it has to be said. Mistake that befitted his age. It's all about learning. Surrounded by his sisters, who also take part in VI skiing. He's the closest that many have been. De La Place 189. So Agner, if he can find the right line and keep the speed, certainly a top 3 potential as it stands. As we saw with Agner's second run in the Super Combined. We've got to complete them both. 104 will be too quick, but how much behind will he be? Not that much, he's second. Johannes Agner, again the youngster impressing, into second position on this first run.
105.70.
This is Huang Ningyu, already nearly 7 seconds down. Arms just flailing a little. The Korean athlete will make it to the bottom, it seems, though. Just 3 gates left from there. And he will come through at about 114, 114.60.
10:40 behind in
There's a good chunk behind.
the finish.
Patrick Jensen, the Australian, up next. A 25-year-old from Newcastle, New South Wales. Hair flowing from behind. Oh, he's all over the place here, but he's managed to rescue it. Another big slide from Jensen, this time uncontrollable. Down he goes. Take a second to compose himself. Just as he comes up over the brow of that, there's a big slide to his right. It's the second one almost in a row. He's just about regained his composure from the last big slide, and he just gets uncomfortable. And down he goes, hitting his left-hand side. This is Damier Mizdrak of Croatia. First chance we've seen him here at these World Championships. He's very experienced. Maria Schutz, his guide. And the Croatian moving through the gates, not necessarily at speed, but certainly at ease. 30-year-old hits the line at a time of 1:23.53, 19.33 seconds back. It's a clean run. Now the only athlete who is registered as B1 on our start list here. 3 classifications, B1, B2, B3. B1 being the lowest level of visual acuity that any of the athletes would have. So at that point, they would have their goggles blacked out. And it's an early finish for Verblio Givichius of Lithuania. All very much a learning curve. Vytenis Mikalskis guiding him down, but now guiding him down on the sides instead of on the course. And that is the end of the run for the Lithuanian. And that's the end of the men's VI category indeed. Bertagnoli, he's back with a bounce, is the Italian. 104.20, he leads from Johannes Agner. Bertagnoli, it's his to lose, you feel, in the second run. Simpson down in 6th position. Areos in 7th. Won't be happy with that. And we lost 2 from our starters.
We are starting now, the men standing with...
We're up to the start gate once again. And the man you can see is the reigning world champion. He broke his gold duck the other day. As he got back-to-back golds in him here. Not only in the giant slalom event, but of course back-to-back in terms of winning one than the other here in Lillehammer as well. $40 names on the start list in the men's standing category. It is a very well subscribed competition. Probably the strongest of the lot of the 6 categories.
In the Paralympics in Pyeongchang 2018. Was a sensation there with 4 silvers.
Just see the course being slipped and just groomed somewhat. Try and get rid of any nasty lumps and bumps that may have been carved out by the last set of athletes in the men's VI. Barchet will tackle any course. Just 21 already. A 6-time world champion. He would have hoped for that to have been more. an opening day silver in the downhill, crashing out in the Super G. Marcus Salka having the best of the opening 2 days. Barchet back to his best in the Super Combined here in the giant slalom. Reigning world champion, a silver medalist in everything but the giant slalom in Pyeongchang. He didn't finish it. Theo Rimeux, the prophet on that occasion. Giant slalom and slalom golds from the world champs in 2017, so this would be a hat-trick of world championship giant slalom golds for Arthur Barchet. And you have to say that, having seen him the other day, you wouldn't put it past him. 104.22. He'll have a look at the screen in a minute and he'll tell us whether he's happy or not. Little wave. We'll take that as good.
Up to 14 to the second.
Alexei Mikushin. Oh, the 23-year-old goes. He'll scamper back up and retrieve his own ski pole rather than leaving it on there, but Mikushin just gets too low, doesn't he? Doesn't get enough purchase to cut back into that left-hand side, and he slides out early of the competition, and from 40 to 39, almost instantaneously we go. Niko Prijancic of Austria, 109 down in the early stages, the 24-year-old member of the Armed Forces. Big ice hockey fan. And he's looking to put in a good run here. It's 2 seconds down at the moment. Never managed a medal at a major event. His World Cup stuff is pretty good. He's always in the mix. Can he turn that into a medal at World Championship level? 2.75, of course, goes second.
Second place so far.
At the moment.
275 behind.
Alexander Alyabayev, 32-year-old from Dimitrov. He's 178 down, use of the ski pole only in the left hand. Already slipping to 3.5 seconds down here. Lost 4 fingers on his right hand. Got caught up in the cable of a ski lift when he was a youngster. That's why his factor time is still 100%, meaning his clock runs at exactly as it should do. 4.69 down.
108.91 is also nearly 2 seconds behind.
Thomas Grocha of Austria. Already a second back, the single leg skier, 28-year-old. Took part in his first race at just 14. Had a spell as a sitting footballer as well. In the background, Grocha. Men's slalom silver, a highlight of his career to date. Back in 2017 in Treviso at the World Championships. Very disappointed with his Pyeongchang results. Grocha gets to the line.
Just ahead of...
Thomas Walsh, USA.
Thomas Walsh of USA, fourth in the Super Combination.
You'll feel like being in the mix on this. 155 would easily put him into second. Not that he would want to be that far behind. 26-year-old from Vail in Colorado. Hits the line at 189. But it's a first run completed. That's 50% of the job done. Mitch Gawley of Australia. 29 years of age. He's finding himself 240 down here. Another second going, disappearing somewhere between intermediate 1 and 2. And it's Gawley against himself now to see if he can eke some of that time back. He seems to be moving smoothly enough. He's ended up at 3.6 down. Well, he clearly knows it wasn't great. It was a little grimace as he hit the line. Santeri Kiveri from Finland up next. Now that's just 21. Fourth place in the slalom in Pyeongchang. Can he find the sort of form heading towards Beijing that will take him up at least one place? Here, he's also struggling to stay pace with Balche. Marcus Salka, double gold medal winner from these World Championships already. 30-year-old not taking part in the Super Combined. 0.81 down in the opening section. Downhill and Super G, much more his bag. He did get a bronze in Sochi in the giant slalom. He's not too far off the pace here, 180. Would put him in podium positions at the end of the first run if he was to control the rest of this run. Of course, offering him some challenges. Implegia affects the right side of his body, so you saw how hard he had to work, and he did make a bit more time up. He goes into second. He pops himself ahead of Thomas Walsh. Marcus Salka hitting his stride. Terima, the reigning Paralympic champion, ahead of Bugaev and Guimont in Korea. He's 168 down. That's the closest so far to Balche, if he can maintain it. Guimont and Balche had some real interesting World Cup tussles over the years. And he's dropped a bit of time there. He's fallen out of the top three, the Paralympic champion. And Guimont will have to watch on. Here comes Paralympic bronze medal winner Guimont of Canada.
146 at the second.
146, again, fairly close. 22-year-old from Quebec. Giant slalom bronze in 2017, giant slalom bronze in 2018. 7th at the last World Championships. He'll want to put that right at the moment. Judging by that second intermediate, he's certainly come out here with a point to prove, and Guimont will hit the line. 175, he goes third. He pushes the American down one. But there's not a lot between second, third and fourth at the moment. Still plenty of athletes to come on the list. Thomas Field next out of the gate.
.28 behind at the second split.
25-year-old, well over 3 seconds down. Top 5 at the moment. Separated by 2.45. Halgren in 5th position on 106.67. It's 5 seconds and a bit for Thomas Field. Now, a new name on people's lips, but certainly one that has shown plenty of ability. Federico Pellizzari has a bronze already at these World Championships. Oh, he's fighting here. And he was 139 down. How much will he have lost? He goes into 2nd. Well, he really is surprising us. Federico Pellizzari goes 2nd, 105.69. That's the big run. Bugaev, silver in Pyeongchang. 24-year-old. And only 0.53 down. In fact, he'd managed to shorten the gap. He let himself go in the opening section, but Bugaev is looking good as well. We are in for an almighty competition, it would seem, in the giant slalom standing. Can he get inside Pellizzari? Nobody's within a second of Walsh yet. Here comes Bugaev, the Paralympic silver medalist. He goes ahead. 0.19. It's a good run from the Team RPC man. And he raises his fist in celebration as well. He's calm and collected for now. But it's the best run of the morning. And finally, Walsh is dethroned. 104.03, just 0.19 between the two of them. Well, he's having a look back up the hill. A few of the old gates are being put back together. Aaron Lindstrom being made to wait. But Bugaev changes the leaderboard eventually. Took 14 runs after Walsh. Bugaev finally gives us someone new in the leader box. This gate here needs some adjustment.
Back after a shoulder injury in 2020.
It was fast. Yeah, it was fast. I think perhaps first part I lost, yeah?
Chatting away.
You were...
Bugaev and Pellizzari. The short story was it was fast. Well, it certainly was.
Yeah.
So, just making sure everything is good out on the course.
Bugaev som har en skada i hånden. Funktionshämning. Vi väntar par om Lindström från Skövde.
Well, he knows he's got to do a second run anyway, but being made to wait a little bit longer. What he'd like to do is get the competition done, get down, get some food, and set himself up again for another quick run.
Short interview? What? Short interview? No. No? For me? Yeah? I think so. You speak English? Yeah, of course.
Lindström. Lindström, the next young Swede. 21-year-old.
I think we're not far away, so an unfortunate pause for Aron Lindström of Sweden.
10 seconds. Hela vägen, kom igen! Ja, kom igen nu!
Away goes the 21-year-old from Alpine in Sweden. Of course, next World Championships for all three of these sports that are here in Norway, a year later than planned, obviously. So the next World Champs are next year, 2023 in Sweden. Lindström would love to be in contention by then for those medal positions. Still young, he's got plenty of speed. It's how to use it. As Walsh and Bugayev have demonstrated. Another of the athletes that has the singular ski pole use, and another that has a factor time of 100%, so it's an unforgiving course. Oh, and he's just sent him off balance. He managed to recover, he almost sat down. Kept his body weight nice and neutral through the middle. He just managed to steady him up a bit. But as I said, he's got plenty of speed as Lindström. He's very brave. Certainly attacks every course that he gets onto, but often doesn't quite find the rhythm that he needs to make it down smoothly. Some 4 seconds back for Lindström. Dan Brossan. Only 0.38 down for the first intermediate, 164 at the second. You get the feeling that to be in the top 10 by the end of this run, you need to be less than 2 seconds. Walsh, 2.08 behind Bugayev in 6th. Can Brossan enter the top 6? Or has he dropped a bit too much in this latter part of the course as well? I think he has. In fact, he goes into 10th and just a purse of the lips and a shake of the head. Oscar Burnham, a debut World Championships for him. He's been going quite well. Originally from Teen. Lost part of his arm in an accident back in 2018, so fairly new to para-skiing indeed. His games, of course, his goal. Can he reach them?
Is behind that.
485 into 13th position.
108.88 puts him in 13th place.
Manuel Bourdinx from France, 34 years of age. 0.37. Only 198 the second. Bourdinx, right leg, his impairment. Hitting the line in 3.92 deficit, which takes him just outside that top 10. Jeffrey Stoet of the Netherlands says that Beijing may well be his last ride. He would love to find some of the form that brought him double bronze at the 2017 World Championships.
behind at the second, so the Dutch will not be up there in the lead, where we have Bugaya.
Cerebral palsy being just impairment, mainly affects his left side. Stut, he's going to come up with a clean run here in the morning, and he dips into the line 8.44.
1:12.47.
This is Conor Hogan of the United States of America. Four-year-old. Big fan of the New England Patriots. Not sure how that's working out this season. 7.85 seconds back, the man from Foxborough. Studied business management at Liberty University. Best place 15th in the Slalom 2015 World Championships. He got 15th in the Super G, the last World Championships as well. Here, he's in 19th position. 14 seconds off Bugayev. Kohei Takahashi. 21-year-old. 4.2 back at the second time check. As he hits the line, 7.88, so he's 18th position for Takahashi. This is Hilmar Ulfarsson.
Youngster, also 21 years old. 37 behind at the second
From
split.
Grobre,
Opening here from
Iceland. Some single leg skier. Right ski only. Big fan of golf. One of his main influences in his career, his idol is Rory McIlroy. You don't see golfers on idol lists in Alpine very often. Christoph Grotzner.
36. 360 behind.
Just 19. From Naumarkt. Skiing since he was 4. His right leg severed at the thigh in an accident with a lawnmower, just the age of 3. Through the line he comes then. Single leg skier from Germany, completing his World Championship giant slalom run. Roger Davy.
Andorra now, Roger Puig-Davy.
Really Andorran athlete.
81 up at the second for this athlete from Andorra.
Studied law in Barcelona. Did Puig-Davy. Been competing since 2013. He's only 281 off here, but he's lost an almighty amount of speed into this bottom section. And 104 has already gone, so how close will he be in the end? It's going to be some 5 or 6 seconds in the end, so certainly did lose some speed in that bottom section. Puig-Davy. A few locals out here offering their support. Jules Segaz.
Behind at the first, that's okay.
Fair amount of French athletes in the men's standing. Segaz just 19. Very much the youngster of the group. Comes from Leggett. Born with paralysis in the right side of his body. Regular physiotherapy sessions throughout the course of the week. Something he continued from a baby. And through the line he comes. Now I think Andrew Harrahay is not going to start, so this should be Jonty O'Callaghan. .2 back for Jonty in the opening section. That's now 7.79.
Second split for
24-year-old from Melbourne, Victoria.
a little late.
Quite happy at home in Europe. That's where he discovered skiing on a family holiday, and despite his impairment, found himself able to do it. So it was something he then pursued. Here comes Jonty to the line in 24th position, 30.21. Jesse Keefe. Hair spilling out the back of the helmet for Jesse Keefe, 4.55 down. Born without an ankle bone in his right leg, so an amputation below the knee when he was very young, and skis here at 8.65 down on the leader. So that Kakuta Koike. It's only 3.5 down. Quicker than the last couple of runners at that stage. 39-year-old office worker. Mad keen on football. He actually wanted to be a goalkeeper. That was his dream before his accident. Through the line he comes. This is Leander Chris. 20-year-old. Be a few days away from his 21st birthday. Shingle leg skier, his impairment, an amputation to the right leg due to bone cancer. .16 down at the second intermediate. And Chris will get to the line in a time of 1:12.82. The very likeable Spencer Wood.
565, also he lost a lot between the first and
Turn
the
25 on our last day of competition. And he put himself inside the top 25 in this competition. 5.65 down early doors for the man from Pittsfield. It's his second World Championships, 27th to go, 9.23 down. Comes James Whitley. 3.73 at that second intermediate. Without the use of ski poles in either hand James Whitley. Oh, big slide over that drop. It just comes up over a bank and slides away to your right-hand side. It's got to be controlled, and Whitley did that all right. He lit the line in just outside 110, 1:11.01. Certainly inside the top 25. Andrei Chesney. (39 years of age). Polish single leg skier who debuted back in the year 2000. He's very experienced, Chesney. Winner of the Polish Celebrity Splash show on TV back in 2015. Just be lucky not to splash out here. Best result, a 7th place finish in a Slalom World Champs back in La Molina in 2013. And Chesney gets across the line. Arvid Skoglund of Sweden. Already seen Lindström from Sweden as well. Skoglund, even younger, just 18, from Östersund, which is part of those World Championships next year in Sweden. I think it holds the Nordic part, if I remember rightly. Well, Marcus Nilsson Grasto will get probably the biggest cheer of anyone at the bottom so far, being Norwegian and all that. We're looking for a clean run here in his home World Championships. Giant slalom last time out in 2019. He was inside the top 25. He was 22 when it finished. He's going to get a little bit more pace out of this course if he's going to achieve that. He's going to be well outside that, in fact. 31st. The bells and flags ringing and waving in unison. Just 5 left to go. This is Patrick Halgren.
Halgren, 8:57 behind now.
As the sticker says, spend it. Knocking around after his brother. It's a catchphrase that his late brother used to use, so it means a lot to him. And Halgren fighting with the course. Single leg skier, using those outriggers. Up towards the line. Halgren is going to get a finishing time here at the World Championships, his debut Worlds. And Patrick Halgren hits the line. Ivan Vasilev, Team RPC, just 15, Ivan. Huge moment here as he makes his World Championship debut. Missing fingers on his left hand, so the inability to grip a ski pole in that hand, meaning he only uses one on the right. That's not a bad time, you know. He's inside the top 30. So the 15-year-old comes flying through. Now Tyler Carter from Colorado Springs. Born without fibular bone in his right leg. Oh, well, It goes out early doors, does Carter. That takes us to Remy Massi. The Belgian athlete. .33 years old, Remy. The only Belgian part of this World Championships. Jasper Belkamp used to compete for Belgium in the Alpine. I wonder if Jasper is watching on, another smiley, happy-go-lucky character in the world of para-alpine in my time here. And through comes Remy Massi, 13.47 down. He's also competed in para-athletics, the European Championships. The Belgian Martin Moxley is next. .41 years of age. Partner Jessica and the children will be watching on. Served in the US Army in Iraq. Explosion caused artery and nerves to his right arm, so limited on movement there. Moxley pushing on. Andrew Kirk said he's the kind of guy that loves to take the joke just that bit too far. Seems like my kind of guy. 128.26, Martin Moxley, debut Worlds. Tick that one off the list. Well, there you go. That is the men's standing competition, done and dusted for a first run. Alexei Bugaev and Artur Balche with the best of the two, just under 0.2 of a second. Pelizzari in the mix as well. There's plenty of athletes taking part in the men's sitting competition today here in Lillehammer as well. 31 to be exact. Right at the top of that list, Jeroen Kampschreur. Gold in the Super G, silver in the downhill. Some bumps and bruises from the Super Combined after sliding out of that one. Plenty of debuts in this as well. Dumiti at the bottom for Hungary. Just one of those.
So we're ready to start the last class in the first round, the men's sitting with
You see a few of the Dutch contingent getting themselves ready. Chris Meyer, Niels de Langen, the other of the three. De Langen picking up a bronze in the Super Combined. He'll be super happy with that, I'm sure. Crashing is not something that this man at the top of your screen will have been happy with at all, but Jeroen Kampschreur, that is a face of determination. And he's an athlete that knows how to go quickly on any given day. First run, first task, get to the line. The 22-year-old does everything he possibly can to make that happen. sometimes he'll tell you he gives just that little bit too much. That monster run in the Super G to finish over 3 seconds clear of the rest of the field was phenomenal. But runs like that are done on the knife edge, and you just get it wrong slightly, and it's good night. Kempster lives on that edge.
39.19, the second clip.
Majority of the time he gets it absolutely spot on. Now he gets a chance to set the first time. There's a big bump going through there. Well then, the sit skiers often find parts of the course that others don't. Kempster has found some difficulties in his first run. Is it unique to him, or will others struggle through that section too? Interesting. Arguably the world's best. Hasn't had what he would class as the best run. However, the flags for Jeroen are flying. He was flying, and he's through the line. And yeah, that sort of says only just with the facial expression. Ravi Dugan.
Det var ikke et perfekt løp av Kempster, men det var en bra tid likevel. Dragan har tatt 6.77 her. Dragan has lost 6.77.
He's already 6.77 down.
Kempster did no big mistakes. He had a couple of late gates on the lower part here.
And from Oregon, Eugene in Oregon. He's closing in on the line. He's well outside of Kempster's time, but he also got himself a clean run, it would seem, and the American gets through. The very experienced Roman Rabo next up. 30 years of age, he's retired once. Came back end of last year. See what he still had left in the tank. One more Paralympics perhaps, certainly one more World Champs. And Roman Rabo hits the line in 109.67. So Kempster's run currently too hot to handle. Murat Peli, 39-year-old from Switzerland. 5.43 down already here. Loves doing any sort of sport. It's freedom for him. Big injury leading up to the last Paralympic Games, when he was only able to take part very late. The last World Championships. Got an 8th in the Super G and a 6th in the Super Combined. Very much his preferred events. He's going to come to the line here in a time of 1:14.29, so 9.72 down on Kempster. This is the athlete from Korea, Han Sang-min. Another that's almost 5 seconds back. Oh dear. Just about made that gate as well. 42-year-old. Missed the games in Sochi. Delighted to have been back for the one in his home nation. He got an 11th place twice, actually, in the giant slalom and the super combined. He's 9.23 off in this opening run. Corey Peters. 3.56 down.
That's a good time from the New Zealander.
Not as far down as many. The New Zealander heading towards the line here. 38-year-old. double gold medalist at the World Championships in 2015. How close to time can he get? 4.85. He's second for now. Here goes Andrew Kirk. Great first run in the Super Combined. Didn't want to take on the slalom. He isn't doing the slalom here. He's doing the giant slalom. Oh, Kirk with a big bump. And, well, he's still on course. Is he going to carry on? Yeah, I think he is. He's flipped his outrigger back into his left hand. He's, rotating his right hand. Maybe just fell a few bumps and bashes on that side. It was certainly entertaining to look at from here. He won't have enjoyed it. And he still ends up being just 5 seconds down. So Andrew Kirk, here he comes. Yeah, I think that's exactly the same place that Kampschreur found a little bump earlier on. I did say that these sit skiers soon grind out parts of the course for those behind them. And the quicker guys tend to follow the same line, so Kirk would be in that club, following perhaps the line that Kampschreur had, and well, that gate needs a replacement, that's for fact. But you notice that Lubras de Gan of France wasn't in the same line at all, he was much wider. So that tight line, whilst it might be quicker, there's clearly something there. It's a little bumpy. Lubras de Gan, no such difficulties, but also going to be well outside Kampschreur. Oh, he's second. The Frenchman goes second. He's happy with that, so he should be. Very steady from Lubras de Gan. Got a delay here because that gate post that Kirk went through needs reassembling.
Comfortably.
So, de Gan finds himself in second, Kampschreur. And that's the flag. It's on the ground because Andrew Kirk nailed it a few moments ago. There you go. But look how well he controls it. This is the experience. Kirk never really flustered by it. The outriggers are on a strap as well, so he didn't let go of it. He was more just hanging off his arm. I'm not sure what that was. I think that was more of an indication to his coach, maybe, than an injury. One of the coaching support staff would have been on this side. There he is. Look, I've just had a big bump. Do you care? No, I don't care.
You know, flat light today, and there was a nice little divot just prior to the jump, which I didn't anticipate. It makes sense. People are sliding right before they're hitting that piece of terrain, and I just didn't see it, and I tried to arc my ski through it, and it just bit my ski and shot me.
He said it so much better than I did. That's exactly what I was trying to explain. Those before him have cleared that out. There is a little bump, as he called it, a divot on the terrain. And as he's tried to come in, he's unaware of that. He was following the fast line that they would have all looked at coming through. So really interesting to hear it in Andrew Kirk's words. Said slightly differently, but we all meant exactly the same thing. He's using a lot more jargon. There you go. He's got one of those little books that says about the jargon. Hello to Andrew Kirk's wife, who was commenting on the broadcast the other day on social media, so a big hello to her as well. He's absolutely fine, as he always is, but I'm sure anybody that is married or goes out with a sit skier has their heart in their mouth for around about 1 minute 20 every time they leave the gate. But that is the sport itself, that is the thrill that these guys seek. It does mean that every now and again they'll take a tumble and a fall, so they're used to it. It's part of the sport. Here's the rest of the athletes just biding their time, being made to wait. Floris Meyer, Joost Langen in the background. Oh, this guy's quite famous around here. That's Jesper Pedersen. Bib 63 is who they've come to see. Again, eventually having its flag put back and the other one being retrieved. So there we go. That was the cause of the delay. The causer of the delay was Andrew Kirk. He sits down in 4th position at the moment. Peli, Brastigan. You see Kampschreur, the back of his head, just poking out there.
Ready to restart now.
He can return to the action with bib number 62, belongs to Igor Sikorsky. There we go. We are back underway. What else have we got left in terms of drama? We've still got Pedersen. Sikorsky is not a man to be dismissed easy either. The man from Krakow, double bronze medal winner in his career. He's got a silver in the slalom of the 2017 World Championships, bronze in the Paralympics in Pyeongchang, bronze at the last World Championships. Can he keep his run of medals going? Bronze in Pyeongchang was the giant slalom, so with Kirk having an issue, Igor Sikorsky fancy himself to be a top 3 place. That would put him in 2nd for now, 2.52. So Poland's Igor Sikorsky is giving as good as he can here. No such problems at what we'll call now Kirk corner, which I'm going to struggle with at some point. Sliding down into this final drop. Sikorsky with 5 to go. Well, can he keep his medal run going? 3 over the last 3 major events, and he is 2nd. Less than 3 seconds behind. He'll know that Pedersen's still to come and a few other big names, but Sikorsky will be delighted with that. Now, Jesper Pedersen, 0.75. Kampschreur's run is good, but Pedersen is very often capable of finding just that little bit more when he needs it. Into the drop he comes then. Some good lines being made from Jesper Pedersen, sticking this nice and tight to these gates. He can do. Can he hit 104? Can he hit 105 as minimum? Oh, he's not far. 0.18. We are in for a hell of an evening here in Lillehammer. Less than 0.2 of a second yet again in one of these categories separates the top 2, and that is a nod of approval from the Norwegian. Floris Meyer. One of 3 dirty athletes. One's already at the bottom, the other's still at the top. Meyer grinding his way down this course. Into the final drop he comes then. He can see the finish line from here. Anything inside 5 seconds puts him in the top 5, give or take, for now again. Oh, just outside. 8th position, 5.35. It's congested around about 5th place. Peters, Kirk, Rabel, and now Floris Meyer just behind that as well. Here's Jernej Slivnik, the athlete from Slovenia, which was, of course, host or part host of the last World Championships. Kranjska Gora, a place I've been lucky enough to go twice. Absolutely fabulous organisation and organising committee there. And Jernej Slivnik, another that seems to be improving to me. He was very young when he burst onto the scene. The 21-year-old goes through the line. This is his 2nd World Championship. He's got a 10th place finish at the last Worlds in the slalom. And Slivnik goes 5th here. That's a good time, 4.75. As I say, Slovenian, very often to me, looks like he's moving up all the time.
Combination Nils de Langen on course.
And there's de Langen.
34 at the second split.
Picked himself a bronze medal out of the super combined carnage. Oh, this time around, Kirk corner takes him down. De Langen just grinds to a halt on the snow. Worried face at the bottom. De Langen raising an arm and indicating that he's okay enough to get upright. Might need a bit of assistance out there. He hadn't quite come into the drop for the finish. So it was indeed the corner that claimed Kirk. And now the next athlete is going to get stopped here. Well, it's frustrating, yes. Victor Pireo will take his frustration out, but unfortunately, Niels de Langen has bashed his eye here. Yeah, you see the visor. He's got an eye injury. That's going to need some medical attention for sure. So you see a little bit of blood just underneath the eye, and that'll be the plastic or the rim of those goggles as he bangs his head on the deck that has come up and cut the skin. Hopefully there's no lasting damage to that one, but yeah, de Langen has felt that. And his teammates will be anxiously looking on and hoping that he is okay. At the moment, visibly, he looks okay, but he'll get checked out by the medical teams, the excellent medical teams here. And checked out. Apologies if you heard any choice of language that doesn't befit the watershed. Although you can almost guarantee it was Jeroen Kampscheur to do such a thing. Just taking the helmet off, and you see the goggles have come away from the strapping, so it looks as if that's the root cause as the head goes into the terrain. The helmet doing its job, but seemingly perhaps the goggles busting into the lower part of the eye. Now behave yourself, Jeroen. He and Forrest Meyer just having a chat, and young Jerne in the background. And here come the medical staff as well. We'll be back in a few moments. There's de Langen, bronze medalist in the super combined, a bust eye in the giant slalom. Jesper Pedersen there has certainly made this afternoon's second run very interesting indeed. Just 0.18. Igor Sikorsky will be happy to be in the top three at the moment as well. Taking another opportunity to get well soon to Kurt Oatway as well. The Canadian had a real bad spill in the training sessions before this competition, and more than likely has cost him a place at the Paralympic Games. He's come away with all manner of injuries and is currently in hospital here in Norway. So get well soon to Kurt Oatway, and a real great ambassador for the sport. But, another that knows the perils that are ahead when they leave the start gate. You saw Andrew Kirk survive a wobble and carry on, while we've seen Niels de Langen get a cut that will need some attention, while Kurt Oatway can very much sympathise with that. Just take a look here at de Lange, and that's exactly what Andrew Kirk came across, and it's just what he was saying. A divot has been made in that turn that they won't have been expecting, but to take the fastest line as they try and slide the back end in to get around, if it hits it, they know they're going to have to deal with it. Unfortunately for de Lange, he gets his outrigger caught in the gate as well, and it pulls him towards the ground. So Victor Pirel will reappear later on, as he was the man held up. Enrique Plante of Argentina makes a start on his run. He took the sport up at 16, so relatively late compared to some, but the 39-year-old absolutely loves it. Big fan of surfing as well. This is second World Championships with his third Paralympics in mind. He was 8.91 down. He's actually 0.49 down here. Big improvements. The Argentinian has an 11th place finish in the slalom. He was disappointed with 3 no finishes in Pyeongchang as well. And an 11th in the slalom. Says he can do it. Oh, he's got out. Oh, we were into the drop for the finish, and you heard him, hopefully, in your on your monitors, your TVs, or your phones. You might have just caught him exasperated. Let's had a real shout of disapproval. Just got wide. Aaron Ewan of New Zealand.
So far for New Zealand. Even 191 behind at the first, 526 at the second. This is 71.
In fact, it's not Aaron Ewan. It's not there. Pavel Bambusek. He's next. Oh, it is Ewan. Well, there we go. We'll make our minds up at some point. Aaron Ewan, bib 70, not bib 71. New Zealander does indeed get down in 8.84. So correctly out this time, number 71, Pavel Bambusek. 35-year-old Czech sit-skier. And he's another that has found exactly that sweet spot. And another that is super frustrated by that.
He looks unhurt also.
Well, up he gets, and other than a bit of dented pride, yeah, it's just on the way in, isn't it? It took him right off his ski into the air. And that is the look of disappointment here in Lillehammer. Jasmine Bamba. 42-year-old from Denver.
7:36 behind now at the second intermediate. It looks like
Wife Sarah and his 3 daughters will be watching on the coverage, whether it be live or afterwards. Bamba takes on his 5th World Championships. And the very experienced sit skier gets through the line. Used to compete for Serbia. Changed and granted US citizenship. You can hear the support from his US teammates at the bottom. So this is Kristen of Switzerland. 29-year-old from Kriens in Switzerland. Gets into the bottom section. Impairment resulting from a mountain bike crash in Canada back in 2016. Took up the sport in 2017. Here he is at the World Championships in 2022. This is Dan Sheen. Great Britain. 40-year-old from Ellesmere Port. Army veteran. Taking some steady lines through here. Took up the sport in 2015. He was He's drifted out. And again, another, you can hear the frustration. He was into the drop for the finish as well. You could just see how far away he was from finishing a World Championship giant slalom run. He'll come again, Dan Sheet. Good first effort at World Championship level. And I felt his pain there as he just dropped out of the course. Canada's Brian Rowland. 590 down from Merrickville, Ontario. Big wakeboarder, a wake surfing champion in Canada. Spinal cord injuries back in 2015, leading to his impairment. And here he is crossing the line in 14th place in the men's Sit-Ski World Championship giant slalom event. Alex Slag, 30 years old, from Poole. He learned how to ski back in 2016, part of Great Britain's Battle Back programme for armed forced veterans. Into skydiving and wind tunnel flying as well, so certainly a man that loves the adrenaline, loves the danger. Herniated disc back in 2015, result of an injury that he got while serving in the armed forces. His ambition is to get to the Winter Paralympics if he can. Slag with teammate Sheen pushing the boundaries for themselves. Oh, we've lost Sheen. Are we going to lose Slag? He's going to have to try and spin back round here. He's managed it.
I was not happy with that.
Oh, that is not the time that he would have wanted to have been spinning around, and you can hear him, well, his concentration, I think, has slipped away from himself. He was still berating himself for spinning around a few moments before that.
I think so.
And Slag and Sheen end up with pretty much the same result. They'll be almost measuring where they went out to decide which one of them got the furthest, I think, because it was absolutely bang in the same place. There's the moment that Slag goes spinning around. And a few minutes later, he drops out of the course just as Dan Sheen did. This is Kyle Torman. A 20-year-old. Very experienced, though. Started doing this when he was very young. Andrew Kirk tells me that he's a great singer. He said almost that singing is what he loves and sit-skiing is almost a pastime. Well, Talman is entering on down. I always take what Andrew Kirk tells me with a little pinch of salt anyway. Had a crack at wheelchair tennis as well in his time. There's Tolman.
Well, 67 now for Kyle Tolman.
Went to the last Paralympics as an ambassador. They make it onto the team for Beijing. 12.67 down. Tolman staying within the die, staying within the gates, more importantly. And as we're into the final few gates, he's looking at a completed run here at his debut World Championships.
124.89. 32 behind.
Drejos from Czech Republic. Seeing Petr from the start here. .35 old. 4.18 down that first intermediate. Like many of these athletes, introduced to skiing as part of his rehabilitation.
Rahul's now 10:46 down on the leader.
This is his second World Championships. He took part in both the giant slalom and the slalom events. The last World Championships he didn't complete either, so his first challenge here as he comes over the brow of the hill in a second that will drop down towards the finish. Here he comes. That's where we lost the two Brits earlier. He is into this section. And Drechos will get a clean run here on run one.
121.73. 121.73. Peter Drahos.
Now, Yang Dae-gyun from Korea. .25-year-old debut World Championships for him. 4.77 down. Had to go at para swimming first.
Round to 11.22 now for Yang.
And towards the finish, 11.22 down here. Competes his local club skiing in Seoul. It's another that's going to make it seemingly to the bottom. With 5 to go. And Yang Dae-gyun comes over in 122.63. Robert Enigel. Involved in a car accident back in 2014, resulting in spinal cord injuries. Often says he skis to ease the pain. 0.60 second down. Breeds golden retrievers. His family dog breeding business back in the States. Being out here on the hill takes his mind off the pain. He's had to fight with the course there. I'm sure the lumpy and bumpy bits of this are not all that pleasurable. 10 seconds down, that's not of a concern for Robert at the moment. From Boseman. A big fan of snowboarding before his accident. Oh, and a big slide here, and it's out for Robert Enigel. Just a few in that section. Just coming into the left-hander, and he's outside of the red gate, and nothing he can do about it. Just cuts in too early. And number 80 goes out. 4 more on the list. Josh Hanlon of Australia is next. Debut World Championships for the man from New South Wales. .49, not so bad. Australian, always a growing team. Array, sure looking and hoping that Josh does himself proud. 2.4 wasn't bad at the first intermediate. Pearman only happened to him back in 2018. Terrier attacked his organs, which led to the amputation of both his legs. He was a Aussie rules player, and I'm sure he still follows the action down under in that sport. He's gone from one sport that was rough and tumble to another, it would seem. But Josh Hanlon is going to make a World Championship debut clean run, and he's just outside the top 10 as well. 1:13.15, that's pretty good. That is certainly something to build on.
11th place behind Pascal Christen of Switzerland, but ahead of
Them boarding Njöbu. Many Danish athletes in this competition. He's just 21. Partial paralysis in both legs. Another that's making a World Championship debut here in Lillehammer. He's been skiing since he was 7. What does it all do to him? Trying to do it competitively is something different. Camp Schur's time through that section was 39. He was 12 seconds back. Oh, and that's the same place that Niels de Langen went down. And again, it's almost carbon copy. The outrigger getting caught in the gate, and it just swings you back, and out you go. Yes, you want to get as close as you can. Yes, you want to find the right line. But if you dangle that outrigger too much, just there is the chance that it will throw you backwards, and that is exactly what has happened to young Adam. Now, first ever athlete from Azerbaijan to tackle the World Championships. Dashki Nabasov, according to my records, makes history. Can't find another Azerbaijan Alpine skier at World Championship level, so Daskin Abbasov does just that. 39 years of age. This will be a test for him to try and get to the bottom rather than set a time, and I think he doesn't fancy those conditions. It is slippy and icy out there, and I think he's put safety first here. A little tough for the athlete from Azerbaijan. for Pirel. Hey! Pirel, who we saw earlier on being held because of the accident to Niels de Langen. He was frustrated because he felt like his run was good, and well, let's see just how good it was. 1.8 or 1.18 should I say, down at the first intermediate. Where is he? Here comes the second. He's certainly having a go here. 39.19. 4 seconds now, dropping down, but that would be inside the top 4. Özdogan in 4th on 4.26 behind, Slivnik on 4.75, Peters on 4.85. You can see how tight and congested it is in 4th to 6th. Inside top 7 needs 5 seconds. Kirk was 5 seconds down, but Pirel is going for it. Can't fault the commitment here from the Frenchman. Not in the slightest, and that pink helmet makes its way towards the line. 1:10. He's going to be 6 seconds down in the end, but he does stay inside the top 10. 10th position exactly for Victor Pirel. Needs to find some better lines in his second run.
Last racer.
Now Richard Dumiti of Hungary. 25-year-old student. Paralysed from the waist down. Result of an accident when he was 3. He set his sights on the next Paralympic Games, not this cycle. So a steady race for Dumiti. Was taught to monoski by Hungarian para-alpine skier Sandor Navratiu. Dumiti making his world champs debut. Nice and steady. Final athlete on course in the morning's first run. He's heading in towards the drop down then. It is steady. It is very much a constructed piece of work from Richard Dumiti. Quite clear that his aim is to complete. And he's going to do just that. Well done to the Hungarian. 1:29.06. Confidence booster. And that completes all of the first runs in the sitting event, and what an exciting afternoon we have. The second run has just under 0.2 of a second between Kampschner and Pedersen. Netherlands versus Norway, and these two love a good battle. Sikorsky in line for a bronze, perhaps, to keep his run of medals going as well. So take a look at the standings after the first run then. Vision impaired, Giacomo Bertagnoli. He leads the way from Johannes Agner, the youngster, ahead of three-time world champ already, Vicente de la Place. And standing event has less than 2/10 in that as well. Bugayev and Balshay are going to give us what hopefully is an almighty finish to the giant slalom event over there. Pellizzari in line for another medal. Guimond would like to match at least what he got in the last Paralympic Games. Marcus Salcia, he's not far away as well. And in the sitting competition, just 18/100ths of a second separate Kampster and Pedersen. These two love a good tussle, and we're going to get another one here in the giant slalom. Sikorsky, Brazdegan, Slivnik, Peters, Kirk. They'll all think that they could be the bronze medal in that battle. A mistake from the top two, and you might just be elevated even higher.
Bertagnoli, the best ranked skier in this class, 104. Italian.
Ricardo, 47 behind Walsh.
Still in the lead. Bugayev next for RPC, Alexei Bugayev. And he is just half a second behind. This is the best win since we had the
So far, but it's not much to make mistakes before it's out. He's right there. And of course, coming down to the second
hit. 39.19, the second clip for Jeroen. kommer opp alldeles straks. Og det var han, fikk han et slag. Han greier den også. Trying to recover now. Here comes his home in 104.57. Half a second behind the time set by Bulgaria in the former class. So even though we made some mistakes,